What's going on, guys? CWG here. Welcome to another GTNH video. In the last episode, we made this electric blast furnace. Look at it. It's beautiful. I've been smelting up some pulsating iron and some redstone alloy, which is used to make superconducting wires in low voltage, so we can make wires with no cable loss. So I went ahead and replaced all of these cables. They are now lossless, so we can make this line as long as we want and not worry about cable loss. You'll love to see it. Also, I made this checklist of a whole bunch of things that we need to do before we really start going ham and medium voltage. This is a clipboard from the Bibliocraft mod, and I can finally keep track of all my crazy thoughts that pop into my mind I usually forget about, but now I can write them down. So one of the things we're gonna want is a regen enderman so we can get infinite ender pearls. Now this is like completely RNG based. You have to go into the quest book, buy a couple enderman spawn eggs, and hope that one of them spawns in as an infernal mob and that it has regen so he won't die and we could throw him in the smeltery to liquefy him forever. So I made a second little mini smeltery over here for it. You just have to have one melted ingot in there, which I'm using bronze. And it's actually wall sharing with our main smeltery. I didn't even know that smelteries could wall share, but the more you know. All right, anyways, we just gotta throw these endermen in here. Oh wait, that one's infernal. Rare smashing something defender. Oh, I don't think he's a regen one, sadly. But yeah, like I said, they can spawn the infernals, and if it has regen on it, we're cooking. Why does the enderman have a pig head? That's funny. Now, if you put a roof above the smeltery, the enderman will not teleport away, which I don't even know. Is that a vanilla mechanic? Who knows? But if you look at them, they will teleport out. So you just have to be very careful not to look at them. All right, that guy died. Let's try again. Oh, we just get another pig enderman. Dang it. One of these days, we will get the right enderman. But this quest, you can only buy them once an hour. So every hour, I'm just buying more of these guys. I also set up a redstone clock that we can turn on, and it will just pour out the ender pearls from all the ender juice of the enderman. Pretty savage, but it's a good way to get ender pearls. All right, so we got Stircat with us right now. I'm sure you've seen her. Where'd she go? She was in here.
Botania!
Stircat's botaniaing. Oh yes, we're gonna get into some basic magic, some basic Thaumcraft, so that way we could actually upgrade our mana pools. I mean, that'd be kind of cool, right? Hold more mana. So in order to get into basic Thaumcraft, which is like the main magic mod that all the other magic mods stem from, and like you're gonna have to do Thaumcraft recipes to do other magic mods, we're going to have to make the iron capped wand. Now we have aluminum now, so we're good. We just need the Naga scale. So we get to go to the Twilight and kill a Naga. Stircat, are you excited?
I didn't sign up for that.
You did it, but now you are.
Fine.
Before we go in there, let's make a magic map. So we just need a raven's feather, torch berries, glowstone dust. Luckily, we've already gathered these things inside the Twilight. Boom, magic map foci. Next, we need to get a stack of paper, which is made by literally compressing a stack of paper. Can you believe you have to compress a stack of paper? All right, we got our stack of paper, magic map foci. We can submit them and get our blank magic map. Now, for some reason, the magic map has no crafting recipe. You could only get one from claiming this quest. Is it repeatable? Yeah, you can repeat it once a day. So every day you can get a magic map. Let's go to the Twilight. We got our crossbow. We got our hammer. What more do we need? I don't think GTNH buffs the Naga that much, so we should be good. But now that we're in the Twilight, we should be able to open up our map here. Look at that. So the map will actually show us what bosses are around us. You can see that the Lich is right in front of us. It also says that there's a Naga in this direction. Now, I've been to one of the Naga places, and the Naga had despawned. So I'm hoping this guy is real. I see the Naga thing straight ahead. Here it is. Can we do some parkour to get in? Yeah, we can. I'm gonna see if there's actually a Naga here. Oh, no, this is the one that I saw before. It's a Naga thing with no Naga. What the heck? Well, I guess we gotta go northwest then. All right, I see a Naga boss bar. I think we're cooking. Oh yeah, I see him. Let's go fight some Naga. Hey dude, let me introduce you to my little friend. Hooyah! Okay, it did a decent amount of damage. I mean, he doesn't even try to go after you. He just sits there and tanks bolts. Finish him off with the hammer. Hooah! Get back here. Hooah! Got him. Oh. Big ugly snake. We got our Naga scales. Yes, 6 Naga scales.
Yay.
Let's go. Oh, hey, Stircat made it. All right, we got our Naga scales. Let's go back home and make a wand. What a pointless adventure. All right, it's wand making time. Let's start by making the 2 iron caps. Look at that. Then I think we have everything we need to make the iron-capped wand. And we can start Thaumcraft. Oh, wait, we need an impregnated stick? How do we get a stick pregnant? Oh. You have to put it in the assembler with seed oil. It's time to get some sticks pregnant. We just have to grab our seed oil from, like, look at all these different juices we have. We have oxygen, rubber, concrete, molten red alloy, and seed oil. I was prepared. So I think you just put logs with seed oil on circuit 2, and yeah, it just gets the sticks pregnant. Okay, sweet. All right, here we go. The iron-capped wooden wand. It has a very bad V discount. We're gonna learn all about what this V and crap means, but we got the wand. We're a wizard. Look at me. I got a wand. We're gonna have to build like an entire area for like Thaumcraft and magic stuff, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Let us continue. We need to get the Thaumanomicon. Do we have a Thaumanomicon? I know sometimes you can actually find the Thaumanomicons inside of like villages and chests. But yeah, I think we actually have to make one. Bookshelf, Bloop! It's a Thaumanomicon! Hey, Tome of Knowledge. Yeah, you probably want your own, right? Alright, I'll make one for you, one for me. Bloop. Now, I wonder, is there a way that we could actually share the Thaumcraft knowledge? I don't know. So basically, the way this works is this book is like, if you ever play Civ 6 or something that has a tech tree, this is like your tech tree. You gotta research different things to unlock different things, and there's so many different tabs in GTNH. They add so many things. Like, look, there's the brewing stand. We can learn how to make a brewing stand, finally. There's, like, drills, electric magic tools. There's so much stuff GTNH adds in Thaumcraft. There's literally 2 pages. Oh, here's, like, the boots. And I'll be honest, guys, I've never actually messed around with Thaumcraft inside of GTNH. I've used Thaumcraft in different mod packs like 10 years ago, so it's going to be a lot of working off the rust with this. Alright, the next quest tells us about warp, which is the annoying part of Thaumcraft. There's some things you can like research that will give you warp, and there's other things like messing up cauldron recipes I think give you warp. And you can see on the left hand of the screen there, it starts with like just annoying things like spawning fire bats, creeper sounds, but eventually if your warp gets too high, it will spawn a wither in your base. So you have to be careful. I've seen it happen to people. The quest lets us claim some stuff to remove our warp. I guess I'll go with sanitizing soap. I actually don't know what's best. There's bath salts. I'll get the soap. Look at that. Alright, so in the quest book, we're trying to get to the Crucible. We actually need this guy so we can advance further in Botania, funny enough. Alright, so it looks like there's 2 quests we have to do. We have to meet this Peck Forger bro inside of the Twilight, and we have to mine all the different types of Thaumcraft ores, which are also in the Twilight. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh, so cute.
They made cats. Cats are escaping.
They didn't want to be here.
Well, there goes the cats.
Okay, bye cats.
Alright guys, it's been a little bit of time since that last clip. Here's the situation. If we look at our map here, we have only found one of the Thaumcraft ore veins. And in order to complete this quest here, we have to find all the different ones. So we got Aqua and Ignis, but we still need Air, Terra, Ordo, and Perdido, so I think it's like 2 separate veins. But you know what I realized? If we go to our medium voltage tab over here, we're very close to the portable prospecting tool. This will allow us to find ores way easier. But in order to make this, we're gonna need a bunch of MV circuits. We're gonna need 2 to make the thing in the first place, and we're gonna need 1 for the sensor, and a flawless emerald. I'll deal with that when I get to it. Well, what's the big deal? We just need to make some MV circuits, right? Well, the big deal is it's gonna cost a lot of these diodes, and if you remember from last episode, these things are a pain because you need gallium arsenide dust. And right now we can only do the molten glass recipe, which only gives us 2 diodes. That's lame. But we already have annealed copper. We can actually do a recipe that gives us 6 diodes, but we need molten polyethylene. That means we need plastic, and there's a couple ways to do it. You can either go down the bioplant route, or you can go down the oil route. So we have gotten some oil cells from quest rewards. I think they came from LV loot bags or something, so I made this super scuffed oil to polyethylene setup over here. I partially automated it, but we'll get to why I'm not able to finish it yet. So oil can be distilled into 4 different things: heavy fuel, light fuel, naphtha, and sulfuric gas. You can get all 4 if you have the distillation tower, but you don't get that until high voltage. So for now, we have to use the single block distillery, and we can only choose one output that we want. It's pretty wasteful, but in the early game, it's what we gotta do. So let's drop our oil into the distillery here, and it will make us sulfuric gas. And then that gas gets passed on to this chemical reactor over here. What we have to do now is desulfurize the gas. And this is what they actually do in real life, because oil contains a lot of sulfur, and we want to get rid of that. So what you have to do is react the sulfuric gas with hydrogen, and it will rip away the sulfur from the refinery gas and give us hydrogen sulfide as a byproduct. That hydrogen sulfide then gets pumped into this electrolyzer up here, in which we can actually split it back into sulfur and hydrogen. So you can actually recycle the hydrogen to desulfurize the next batch. Only issue is my dummy didn't realize this is a medium voltage recipe. So we're gonna have to get the medium voltage electrolyzer. We have unlocked medium voltage, so it is possible. Once we make a bunch of MV circuits, I'm going to replace this with an MV one. And since this is a 4 amp cable, and you guys remember from last episode, 4 amps of LV equals 1 amp of MV, I'm pretty sure we can power it from this cable if we put an MV battery in the power slot. So that's a later C-dubs problem. So now I just need to wait until we have 16 buckets of sulfuric gas to show you what happens next. And while we're waiting on that, I got to show you guys what we did between episodes. I haven't even showed you guys yet. First of all, I installed a texture pack that changes all the textures back to the modern Minecraft versions. Yes, Netherrack no longer hurts your eyes to look at. I am very happy I found this texture pack. Even cobble. It looks like actual cobblestone for modern Minecraft. I'm just going to tell people I'm playing 1.20 now. They have no way to know. Also, I've been slowly upgrading our chests as I need more room. And just look at the size of these diamond chests. These are really cool. Of course, I upgraded our crafting chest to diamond, so our ghetto AE system is even better now. And let me show you our farms over here. We've been getting so many different types of foods for our kitchen. And over here, we started messing around with IC2 crops, aka industrial craft crops. Basically, you make these crop sticks, and then you plant stuff on the crop sticks. You can kind of see the crop sticks there. Let me pick some of this Terra Wart, and yeah, now you guys can see the crop sticks better. Also, that didn't even give us anything. Can I get Terra Wart? Yes. So Terra Wart's actually pretty cool. It'll remove negative status effects, and looks like I haven't eaten it yet, so let's go ahead and eat this to get some extra hearts. Anyways, the point is, if you right-click a sapling onto these crop sticks, you make a little bonsai tree, and you can right-click it and harvest some wood. Look, we got 8 logs from that. It'll either give you wood or saplings. So that's pretty cool. If only there was a way to automate that and we could get a whole bunch of logs to put inside of our coke ovens upstairs. We'll take a look at the back here. I already set that up. Check it out. So we got a whole bunch of bonsais here, spruce bonsais. And then over here, we have a low voltage turbine that is powering a crop manager. This thing is awesome. It literally just picks all the crops around it in a 11 by 11 radius, and it looks up and down 3 blocks. Meaning, with one of these machines, you can see it just picks some logs, you can make 3 separate layers. And as you can see, I've already kind of marked them out. I'm using garden soil. Garden soil is super easy to make. You just need dirt, sand, and a little bit of seed oil, and you can make it inside of the assembler. And we're getting seed oil by extracting peanuts. I planted a bunch of peanuts inside of the farm out there, so we're able to make a bunch of this garden soil. And what's awesome about the garden soil, first of all, you don't need water to hydrate your soil, and also, you can jump on it, and it won't break. I never actually made this garden soil in my previous runs of GTNH, and I have no idea why I did it. It's so cool that you can jump on these crops and not have to worry about trampling. But anyways, this is how we're going to get a whole bunch of wood. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a big tower here in the corner and have it connected to this steam house. And it'll be like the crop skyscraper where I'm just going to stack everything vertically and farm a whole butt ton of these stinking IC2 crops. But as you can see, there's a tin item pipe coming out of the crop manager, and then it goes up the wall there. And as you might have guessed, we're piping it up into these Java barrels. And check this out. We already have 118 stacks of logs and 85 stacks of charcoal. We're also collecting the saplings inside of this barrel. So now we got all of our coke ovens going on all the time, which means we can keep our liquid boiler on all the time because this actually produces creosote a slight bit faster than this thing can eat it. Also, on side of this barrel, there's a void upgrade, so it's going to void any extra saplings. And then on these two barrels, I put a whole bunch of capacity upgrades so they can hold 40,000 items each. And these storage upgrades aren't cheap. You need like circuits and pistons and stuff. So I think in the future, I'm just going to use normal drawers because the upgrades are a little bit cheaper. But I think they look kind of cool. So yeah, we don't have to worry about logs anymore. You'll love to see it. Off camera, I'm going to build the other 2 layers of this guy, and we're going to have logs for days. Also, I made these things called item translocators. Now that we have access to aluminum, we can actually craft these guys. It's not too bad. So the translocators can only transfer 1 block distance. All you gotta do is like right click that little button in there and it will send the items in that direction. So now we don't have to worry about our hoppers being too slow. So in our machines that like operate very quickly, I've installed the translocators. So we could do stuff like this, throw a whole bunch of cobblestone into this chest here and it will like immediately move the items a stack at a time. You just have to right click it with glowstone and it'll upgrade it so it can move an entire stack. And you can see it is just crushing through that cobblestone and turning it into gravel. So now we have infinite gravel basically, and if we need sand, we could just take the gravel, throw it in the chest, and it'll get converted into sand. I did the same thing for our ore washer here, because this thing goes extremely quickly when it's in the simple wash mode. I was able to process so much redstone. So yeah, I'm just kind of slowly upgrading things around the base as we're able to afford them. And I think I've caught you guys up now, so is our oil ready to go? It is. You can see the sulfuric gas has already reacted with the hydrogen and moved on to the next machine. So, we have refinery gas. What do we do with it now? So with all the different oil products, whether it's naphtha, refinery gas, heavy fuel, light fuel, the next step is usually to crack it. And yes, there's these multi-block oil crackers you could use, but obviously we don't have access to them yet. You can either crack it with hydrogen or you can crack it with steam, and you can get all kinds of things. On circuit 1, you lightly steam or hydro crack it. Circuit 2, you moderately crack it. And then circuit 3, you severely crack it. And depending on the way you crack it, you get a different ratio of outputs. This could definitely be a bit overwhelming if this is your first time doing it, but remember, the end goal is to get ethylene. And the reason I picked refinery gas is because you can actually severely steam crack it and get a ton of ethylene out of it. So let's go ahead and fill up these cells with steam, and this will burn you while you hold it. So you got to be a bit quick about it. Now we can throw the steam inside the chem reactor and it will react with the refinery gas to heavily steam crack it. And look at that, we got severely steam cracked refinery gas. All right, on to the next step. We then distill the severely steam cracked refinery gas, which gives us a whole bunch of byproducts to choose from, and of course we're choosing ethylene, which is on circuit 3. And then the ethylene goes into the final chemical reactor, and all we have to do is combine it with oxygen and we get our molten polyethylene. Now I'm gonna have to finish up the automation, like piping over our steam over here so I don't have to keep filling up the steam cells. I'm gonna have to deal with the hydrogen sulfide and store the sulfur in a drawer right there. I also gotta deal with the tiny piles of carbon, probably gonna make another drawer for that. But hey, we freaking got polyethylene now. And there's actually a quest for it. Make sure you grab 4 ethylene cells before you convert everything into polyethylene. And there we go. 4 ethylene cells. You'll love to see it. Oh, and we can choose between a stack of empty cells or an MV loot bag. Oh, I love taking the cells. But the loot bag can also give you good stuff. Although we don't have fortune books yet, so chances are we won't really get anything that good. I'll just take the cells. Don't tell anyone. I know you guys want to see me gamble, but if I see a stack of cells, I'm just taking it. All right, so let's put our ethylene back in here, turn on this machine, and it's going to make us polyethylene by combining it with oxygen. So finally, we have the polyethylene we need, so that way we can do the better diode recipe. Oh, I got a comment on my episode 2. One of you guys said you wanted to see me eat foods I haven't eaten yet in order to get extra hearts, and a lot of you guys upvoted that. So, I mean, I guess we can do that together, huh? So like I said, I've been harvesting all kinds of crops, and I finally got lettuce. Lettuce is used in a lot of recipes, so I'm glad that we got that. I also made a whole bunch of soy milk from our soybeans, because milk is also used in a lot of recipes, so we should have a ton of foods that we haven't eaten yet. So if we sort by number of times eaten, Oh yeah, look at all these foods we haven't eaten yet. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of them. We get some dim sum, which is mushroom, water chestnut, rice, dough, and some sort of meat. I'll be honest, I don't really know what that is. If any of you guys have eaten this, let me know in the comments. Next, we're gonna make some fried rice. Look at that recipe. You gotta love the accurate food recipes. We can make some garlic bread. Oh, I love garlic bread. Give me that. We can make some grilled eggplant, which automatically gets sent into our oven to cook. We can make some manju, sugar, rice, and beans. Isn't that the stuff they have in Japan? I have actually been to Japan before, and it was like super cool. All right, I got 9 different foods that we haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna run around like a Fruit Loop to get my hunger down, and let's see if we can get our final green heart and finish off our 4th row of hearts. And this is part of the reason I haven't gone for the healing axe yet, because it kind of forces me to eat new foods. Because I know if I make that healing axe, I'm gonna be lazy and not like try to make new foods. So this forces me to do it. I mean, also check out our nutrition. Our nutrition is off the charts. Since we're able to make so many good foods in the kitchen, we just have constant buffs all the time. All right, I got our hunger down low now. It's time to feast. Delicious. Fried rice, in my belly. Oh, give me that garlic bread. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Those foods are actually really powerful. Now I'm gonna have to run my hunger down. The feast must continue until I get my extra heart. Eat an omelet? Okra Creole? Still no extra heart. Time to spam the jump button until I'm hungry again. All right, 3 more foods. Rice cake, grilled eggplant, mochi. We still need more. Let's make some spring salad. Hey, we got the extra heart. Let's go. We got full row of green hearts, baby. This just goes to show you that I actually read my comments. I know, a YouTuber reading his comments, unheard of. So go ahead and leave any other comments of stuff you want to see me do. So I've cracked up 16 medium voltage circuits. It's gonna be a pain, but it has to be done. I'll be back. All right, and we finally got the 16 medium voltage circuits. I wonder how long this will last me. Probably not that long. And in all that time making circuits, I almost forgot. We need that flawless emerald. And we get this by sifting emerald ore, in which there's a chance we can get a flawless emerald, a 12% chance. I haven't even made the sifter yet, and we haven't found emerald ore yet. Emerald ore is found in a beryllium vein inside of the nether. So I went ahead and put an emerald inside of our ore finder wand. And it's time for another adventure. Yay! Hey, we found an emerald vein. Let's go. We're rich. Give me all those emeralds. All right, and we can finally make a basic sifting machine. Let's get some emeralds. Plop this guy on our wire of doom, add a slightly larger chest so we can open it with the machine above it, and slap on our hopper. So all we gotta do is feed this guy some purified ore, like our purified emerald ore over here, and we start sifting. It takes 40 seconds per ore, so this will take a bit. I wonder how long until we get our flawless emerald that we need. I'll be back when we got it. Oh my gosh, on our very first sift, we get the flawless emerald. There's some CWG luck for you. Let's go. So now we can finally craft ourselves an MV sensor. Let's go. You're gonna hate this, number 6. We are doing this completely out of order, but who cares? We get 8 flawless emeralds from the quest reward and an MV loot bag. What do we get? A bunch of saplings. Wow. All right, so the prospector can be made out of many different materials. Let's look up stuff like steel will give us a 3x3 mining area with 2000 durability, but we could probably do better. Alumite will give us even more durability. We could also use aluminum, which is actually kind of bad, but as you probably guessed, we could make it out of mana steel. And this has a butt ton of durability, and it does a 5x5 chunk scan. This sounds awesome. So let's go ahead and make a mana steel drill tip. Boom. And we can make the mana steel prospector scanner. How exciting is that? Quest complete. Oh, it gives us some MV circuits and a sensor back. Oh, you are too kind, quest book. We also get a loot bag. What do we get? Oh, we get a capacitor bank. This holds RF power and will be used whenever we get into Ender IO, I guess. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's go try out our scanner inside the Twilight. See how good it is. All right, let's walk over to an area we haven't prospected yet. And you have to right click a block of stone, I think, to prospect. Oh, there we go. It found 5 new ore veins. None of them are the ones that we want, but that's that's still super cool. And it barely used any durability, so we can go ham with this thing. And now we can finally find all the Thaumcraft ores that we need. Oh, that was such a big side quest, but you'll do a lot of that in GTNH, because you never know what you need. Alright guys, I've been putting in some work. First of all, I made a medium voltage electrolyzer. Look at it, it's advanced. And right below it, I have a battery buffer with some MV batteries in there that's providing it with power. And below that, under the floor, is a advanced steam turbine. It's able to turn steam into medium voltage power. It's powering the batteries, which is powering the electrolyzer. Cool. Now with this electrolyzer, it's able to help us get aluminum way faster because we could take our lazurite dust, which we have a metric butt ton of, and then throw it into the electrolyzer. And with 14 lazurite dust, we get 3 aluminum dust. So we're able to get a ton of aluminum, silicon, calcium, and sodium. If you look at this chest here, I've been doing this for a while. Look at all that silicon and calcium. I believe calcium you can use to make fertilizer with some sulfur and water, which is basically bone meal, so that's kind of cool. All this silicon we're going to be able to use to make circuits eventually. And then we have like a metric butt ton of sodium, which is used in various recipes. I also made some more MV machines. I upgraded our assembly machine to advanced. You just have to put an MV battery in there so it can take the low voltage power from behind. And it's honestly kind of hard to tell that it's an MV machine. I did get this texture pack that might help us out. All right, there we go. So what this texture pack does is it colors each tier of machine differently. You can see we have a MV assembly machine and an MV fluid extractor. That's because we needed liquid bronze to get bronze rotors, and you can only do that at MV, so I made that. The only thing is this texture pack not only changes the machine colors, it also changes the look of the multi-blocks a bit. It makes the bronze plates like really smooth. I mean, I guess I'll play with the texture pack on for a bit. Let me know in the comments if you want me to play with this texture pack that makes it easier to see what tier the machines are, or if you like the vanilla textures. All right, let's go upstairs here to our coke ovens and let me show you what I've been doing. Like I said in the last episode, I removed all of the Gregtech item pipes and replaced them with extra utilities item pipes. And that's exactly why I got the MV assembling machine, because there's a recipe where you have to use a whole bunch of steel and red alloy to only get one pipe. That's like really bad. But in the MV assembling machine with some red alloy and steel plates, you could just make the pipes that way, much cheaper. So I went ahead and replaced all the pipes, and underneath these barrels here, we got transfer nodes. So we have an item transfer node here that is sucking out the logs and sending them to the different coke ovens. And then we have a retrieval node here that is actually checking all the coke ovens, sucking out the charcoal, and then putting it into this drawer. We got like 9,000 charcoal now. So when it comes to automating like a butt ton of coke ovens, these transfer nodes are like way easier to work with because you don't need hoppers underneath the coke ovens, and you can easily input and output with just one connection. So in this specific use case, I do prefer the extra utilities pipes. So you may be like, C-dubs, what are you going to do with 151 stacks of charcoal? Are you going to make a big solid fuel burner to get even more steam? No, we're going to do something even better with it. We're going to convert it to benzene. Check out what I made behind me. This is the benzene altar. We will pray to it and hope that it gives us benzene. Assuming I set this up properly. I think I did. So here's the plan. You can take charcoal in a fluid extractor at low voltage and get wood tar out of it. It also gives you ash as a byproduct. Remember that. And then with the wood tar, we can distill it on circuit 3 to get benzene. And benzene is an amazing power source. It's way better than steam, that's for sure. And our steam supply will only get us so far, so I want to switch over to benzene, and this setup should help us out. We got 8 low voltage fluid extractors here on the bottom. We're gonna pipe in the charcoal underneath. And then each of these guys are gonna make the wood tar, and they also have conveyor modules on the front of them, so they'll output that ash byproduct and it'll go into this drawer. Next, it's going to take the wood tar and push it upwards. These two in the center here will go directly into the distillery, and the ones on the side go up into the pipe and then into the distilleries. One medium voltage distillery should be able to handle 4 of these fluid extractors if I did my math right. And then these distilleries will make benzene, which gets piped out of the back. And then the benzene will go into these medium voltage gas turbines, which will power the distilleries at medium voltage. As for all the fluid extractors, they're also going to get powered by the benzene with gas turbines here on the back. Remember, these are different than steam turbines. You have to build a completely different generator for this. And then we have superconducting cables on the back here, because each generator can perfectly power to fluid extractors, assuming I did my math right. And after a few tries, I've come up with a design that I like, and I think this will work out great. That's why I didn't do this on camera, because I was kind of like laying down machines, tearing them apart. Sometimes you gotta mess around a little bit in GTNH to make your setups like look decent to look at and not be complete spaghetti. We try to avoid pipe spaghetti at all costs. So I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of rearranging here, so that way it's easier to pipe the charcoal over to the machines, and we're going to test this thing out. Alright, assuming I set up my piping correctly, I should just be able to throw this conveyor module onto this charcoal drawer, and it'll go into our altar of benzene. I must say, I kind of like the texture of the conveyor and the motors. It makes everything a lot more smooth and easy to see. Not gonna lie, I think this texture pack is kind of growing on me. Make sure you let me know in the comments if you want me to keep playing with this or not. But here we go. Let's slap on the MV conveyor, and then I think we set this to import, and let's see if anything happens. Alright, all the fluid extractors have their charcoal. I'm kind of a dummy. I forgot. We gotta jumpstart this thing. Luckily, we got some benzene cells from a quest, so we should just be able to throw in some benzene. And it's powering the fluid extractors. Okay, good. Let's give each one of these guys a bucket of benzene. Ah, listen to the sound of wood tar being made, and all the wood tar is going into the distilleries. Very good. Now we just gotta jumpstart our medium voltage turbines, and we should be making benzene. Look at that, we're making benzene! And set it to fluid auto output so it goes into the benzene pipes behind it, and it should be self-sustaining. Oh yes, we did it. We have 100% renewable benzene. It starts at the tree farm, comes up to the barrels, goes through the coke ovens, makes the charcoal goes into the benzene altar, and now we got infinite benzene. So you may be thinking, C-Dubs, where are you gonna store all the benzene? Here's my plan. We have our steam tank that powers everything inside of our steam house. We're gonna keep that steam. I mean, after it all, it is the steam house, so we have to power it with steam. But our neighboring house over here, I'm gonna empty out this entire steam tank and fill it up with benzene. And we're gonna turn our EBF here over to benzene power as well. Alright, this also changes the texture of the EBF. It looks cool yet cursed at the same time. I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, this guy's like running constantly, making us more aluminum. We're just making enough steam to keep this guy powered. If we swapped over into benzene in this tank, we'd be able to power like a quad EBF and who knows all what else. So the plan is to turn this entire building over to benzene power. Although it looks like these extractors are not outputting their ashes. Oh, I bet you I know why. I don't think conveyor modules work when it's on the front of the machine. So if we rotate the machine here, I think it'll work. Yep, it worked, okay. Luckily, rotating all these machines is not that hard. You just have to shift right click and you can rotate them. There we go, now we're storing some ash. And what could you do with this ash? I guess you could also use it to make fertilizer. There's also a very long centrifuge recipe, but you can get all kinds of stuff from it, like phosphorus is actually pretty useful. Well, it looks like I ran into another problem. I forgot that these conveyors, they don't like round robin. They don't send to all of them at once. It sends to one at a time. And because this recipe is so fast, it just keeps filling the same extractor. None of the other ones are getting charcoal. I think to solve that, I'm going to make the Ender IO item conduits. Although we're going to need more polyethylene. And our polyethylene is getting scarce. We're going to need to get more oil. Oh, there's so much to do. Well, that means it's side quest time. Back in the LV page, we could get oil by using a basic pump, and I know there's oil around us on the map. Yeah, there's literally oil right here. So who's ready to get some black liquid gold? Oh, you need 4 pumps for this? That's annoying. Well, I mean, compared to the medium voltage parts, these aren't so bad. And there we go. We can make ourselves a basic pump. And we're also going to have to make mining pipes, which is putting small steel pipes into a wire mill. It's a pretty silly recipe, but someone's got to do it. And we also need to make a combustion generator so we can power this thing off of its own oil. Now what's interesting is gas turbines cost 2 circuits, but the combustion turbine only needs 1 circuit, but it needs 2 pistons. Honestly, I'd rather craft with the circuits than the pistons, because the pistons are just like a pain. Just something to keep in mind if you want to power your base off of like diesel or something. You'll be making a lot of pistons to power it. Alright, here's that liquid gold. It's literally spilling all over the place. We just have to carefully get over top of it. We'll put the basic pump right over it. Also make sure you cover it up. Rain will make these machines explode. This is GTNH we're talking about. And then we take the combustion generator, and I don't have my wrench. All right, I got my wrench now. So we're gonna have the oil point up. It will go into this low voltage fluid tank. And we should be able to jumpstart this thing with a thing of diesel that I brought with me. And now we have to drop in the mining pipes. And it looks like it's working. We're getting oil. And then we should be able to pump the oil back into the generator so it can self-power itself once it runs out of diesel. Although I'm gonna have to craft a pump because I forgot you can't auto outport with these low voltage fluid tanks. But what's cool is you can actually see the mining pipe slowly work its way down and pump away all the delicious oil. Although why isn't the oil like flowing? I wonder if that's the texture pack doing that. Anyways, we should be able to drop off our large steel cells in here, and they'll just fill up with oil, and we just have to pick them up. Pretty sick. And we could drop the oil off into our scuffed polyethylene setup. Oh, I still need to finish this thing. There's always so much to do. All right, I think we have enough item conduits now. Man, the recipe's so expensive. You need pulsating iron, electrum, and polyethylene just to get one conduit. Ah, but they're so good that it's still worth it. Give me the conduits. All right, so I'm going to replace all these item pipes with Ender IO conduits and hope it works. All right, there we go. We should be all connected up now. So all we got to do is set this guy to export, always active, and enable round robin mode. So it should equally divide the charcoal amongst the fluid extractors, which it is. Wow, listen to the sound this is making. All right, this is pretty wild. And it looks like it's actually keeping up. I even made a speed upgrade thinking I would need it, but I guess not. It's working perfectly. And our 2 distilleries have 100% uptime, meaning I did all my calculations correct. All hail the Church of Benzene. Let's freaking go. All right, we're going to end the episode off here. It's already plenty long. In between episodes, I'm going to knock out these quests so that we can hopefully actually get into Thaumcraft. See you guys in the next one. CWG, ow.